And welcome to Season 4, Episode 8 of the Dolphin Pod. If you're watching our premiere, you are tuning in ahead of our CSI Basketball Conference Opener on Friday night, December 6th. Coming up next, women's basketball takes on Damon University. However, another season gets underway tomorrow at the Yuri Spence Garcia Invitational. Indoor track and field competes for the first time in the 2024-2025 season, and my guest on this episode of the show is Sam Whelan of CSI Track and Field. He is also a game day staffer for me here at the College of Staten Island, a statistician. We look forward to hearing more from him as part of our staff in the spring. But today, Sam, thanks for joining us on the show to talk about the team.
Thanks for having me on, Joe. Glad to be here. Glad to talk about the team.
Great to hear, Sam. And your story is one that reflects what so many student athletes here at CSI have experienced. Time in California, whether it be time at another collegiate institution there or just growing up there, then deciding to make the move to Staten Island. Why the move to Staten Island after a couple of seasons competing over in California?
So I've had a lot of people ask me this, like, why would you come to Staten Island instead of going to California from Staten Island? And I guess it starts when I'm little. We used to go to our grandparents' beach house in New Jersey, and we've been doing that for however long I can remember. We skipped a year with Sandy, but I think that really opened my eyes to the East Coast in general because I've lived in San Diego my whole life. And when I started looking at transfer opportunities because track wasn't really going the way I wanted it to, I started looking a lot at the East Coast and the New York City area. And I guess Staten Island was just one of the schools I reached out to. And I talked to Coach Akil, and he was great. And ultimately, after a visit and looking at the facilities and everything, I settled on College of Staten Island.
With the weather the last 2 weeks, are you regretting that decision at all? You're out here in a T-shirt right now.
Yeah.
I have a double-layered getup going on with my long sleeve underneath my hoodie. Regretting that decision at all this week?
No, I think of it as
a bit of hesitation.
I think of it as a challenge, I guess. I got all my teammates on practicing barefoot out on the turf.
Really?
Yeah, and that lasted a good while until temperatures dropped below
Understandable.
what they should be, in my opinion. But yeah, I found it to be a challenge, but I welcome any challenge. So I think the whole acclimating process has been fun for me because usually the temperature doesn't get below 60 degrees. So, I'm just ready to tackle this challenge like all the other challenges in my life.
Great to hear you put a positive spin on the weather as someone who's been here for his entire life and spent some time in Florida over the last year. It's getting tougher and tougher to embrace that challenge for me. But as is the case with so many collegiate athletes, they bring along with them a decorated high school career. During your high school career, you contributed to the breaking of a 50-year-old relay record, a state championship, but so many times the best memories for high school athletes don't show up on the stat sheet. Is that the case for you, and what are your most fond memories of the impact left behind by your time competing in high school?
Well, of course, the state championship run for the 4x400 relay was one of the best things I've ever done. But I think mainly the relationships you build and the team building skills in high school were the most important thing, and that's what I always remember, hanging out with teammates on the track, outside the track, going to hang out, get food or something after practice or after meets. I look back on the relationships the most that I made in that time.
And I think that can be said for me as well during my time here. I love the work I do on CSI Sportsnet, but the people I've met along the way are really the ones who define that experience. Now, let's move on to your time at Cal State San Marcos. Moving on from high school, a lot of the time, athletes have one expectation of what it's like to compete at the college level. Sometimes the expectations are met. Sometimes it's a bit different. How did things play out for you during your 2 years at Cal State San Marcos?
Well, really, I had no expectations whatsoever because I applied to maybe 2 schools in general in college, and I kind of just made it a foregone conclusion that I was not going to run. And I talked to the coach at Cal State San Marcos, which is right next to my house. It's the main reason I wanted to go there. And he said that he'd bring me on. So I had another opportunity, and my first season, my freshman year, I got injured at the first meet, and I didn't really make a comeback. And so it was kind of disappointing, but, I was just happy to be there. second season also I didn't run at all because I couldn't work my way back up to being on the team. So I guess I was kind of looking for like a fresh start or like a change of scenery per se, and that's why I eventually decided to switch coasts.
So as someone who embraces challenges, obviously returning from getting up to speed, how's that going? And are you at 100% heading into opening weekend?
I'm not going to say 100% because I don't even know what that is at this point.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited with where I've been at, and for a full season where I feel like I'm healthy. I feel like I've been taking care of my body well. Really something I haven't done since senior year of high school. So I'm just really looking forward to running a full season healthy, seeing if I can break any personal records or any school records, and especially for indoor season because I've never gotten to do that in the special events at indoor.
And we're going to talk about the records coming up a bit later in the show. And I could see the smile on your face already. But our trajectory quite similar. I also live right down the block, or lived right down the block from the College of Staten Island for the first 31 and a half years of my life. Now I'm a resident of New Jersey. But I got my start here on the game day staff. And the first time I ever saw your name, it was in an email you sent me asking about positions on our game day staff. Now, over at Soccer Game Day, I was watching you handle the ball, and I think you have some experience in some other sports outside of running. Talk a bit about that, and how did you ultimately settle on track and field?
Okay, so growing up in California, you know, it's always sunny, so there's always sports. And I always played football, baseball, and soccer growing up. Eventually, I phased out football because my mom wouldn't let me play tackle. But baseball was always really fun. And then soccer was, I think, my best sport, mainly just because I was fast and I could just make a breakaway. Eventually, I quit both those things in middle school because they just weren't turning out the way I wanted. And soccer was getting a little bit too competitive for me. So I just joined the track team, which I had been doing since elementary school, like for fun, because we used to play team tag and I would be faster than other kids and I'd win. So like the PE teacher would put me in the track meets and stuff. But I never really saw it as something serious until I guess maybe sophomore or junior year of high school. It was something I just kept doing because I needed an activity and not doing any other sports.
Now, you have an interest that you share in common with one of our CSI Sportsnet colleagues. I pulled it off your bio over on the Cal State San Marcos website. You're into drumming, and you told me before we came on the air you have a band. Is there anything you'd like to plug in terms of your work, and how did that get started? How long have you been at it drumming?
Okay, so I do have a band. It's called Ad Contra. I want to give a shout out to my bandmates because I kind of abandoned them in
Just
California.
a bit.
But yeah, so I guess it starts back in middle school. My first year I had to choose between band or expo, and I decided on band because my dad has been playing lead guitar in a bunch of bands since he was about 18, so he really influenced me to love music and to try it out. So I played in like the middle school band for 3 years, and I kind of tried to play just a regular drum kit on the side, but I didn't really do it very religiously or anything. And then in high school, I got a kit in my garage, and I stopped playing in the school band and just drummed on my own. And from there, I guess it was a really gradual progression, but eventually, in senior year of high school, I joined a different band that I'm not with anymore. But we played at our graduation ceremony in high school at San Marcos High School. About 6,000 people there. That's a peak moment in my life.
That's quite the first gig.
It was quite incredible. We played 2 songs. We played Good Riddance by Green Day.
I know that one.
Everlong.
I know that one as well.
That's good. You should.
I should. I actually used it, so off track just a bit. I used to make YouTube videos. I was a huge roller coaster fan. Picking the track for the background was always tough because back when I was on YouTube, the copyrights are a big thing. Your audio would get muted. So it was upload and pray. I didn't understand what licenses were. So I'd upload songs in the background and hope my video wasn't muted. Everlong was one of the first songs I used.
Great song.
Very good.
So, yeah, after high school, I went to Cal State San Marcos, of course, and I met my other 2 bandmates doing track. So we just started playing at my house, and eventually we started messing around and writing some riffs, and eventually got to the point where we were like, these are actually really good. And we decided to start recording them. We played a single show as Ad Contra, and then we went to a studio and recorded our music. We had about 6 tracks, I think, and we actually published an album, self-titled. It's called Ad Contra. Did it right before I left for this summer. Haven't seen the guys since, but we published an album. I think that's a great achievement for us.
Just perhaps you get the guys to come over to New York and maybe the halftime show. It's PG?
Yeah, it can be.
Great. It can be PG. We do have our Sportsnet colleague, Andrew Rotundo, as well. We've been joking with him that we may have to get him on for the halftime show. Unfortunately, he is involved in a death metal band. I'm not quite sure they can make it PG. He'll have to work on that. But maybe we get you guys to do a little drum battle at halftime.
Yeah,
and then
that would be fun.
That could move forward into a collaboration, perhaps, and we'll see where that goes. But certainly a lot of fun to be had there, perhaps, in the future. Let's talk a bit about the team now. I've had many members of the cross-country track and field program on the show, and something that I've seen over the last 3 years now, the program has grown quite a bit. Obviously, that has a lot to do with Akil now heading the program. How do you think he's managed to grow the program in numbers so vastly, and what does the preparation look like for the season under his leadership?
I think his recruiting style just really resonates with a lot of serious athletes because he cares a lot about character, how you're going to mesh with the team, your drive and your dedication. And I think that's one of the reasons he's been able to bring in a bunch of talented athletes. And I think, he really resonates with the student athletes that he's recruiting. And a lot of people are buying into his vision right now. So I'm excited for what's going to happen.
So obviously a big reason we have you on the show ahead of the weekend. Yuri Spence Garcia Invitational opens the season tomorrow. If you're watching our live premiere, if you're watching a recording, Saturday, December 7th. What can we expect from you and the team this season heading into the first meet?
Well, I did see a coaches poll for the ECC before the season.
Everyone sees those. A lot of the time they end up on the door.
Yeah. Hey, all I'm going to say is we are totally fine with being the underdogs, and we're going to prove a lot of people wrong.
You have a pair of records that are within a second of the program high mark in the 100 and the 200. You have plenty of great teammates who are also program record setters. What are we looking at in terms of record watch this year? For you individually, for some of your teammates perhaps, or for relay squads?
Well, I think a lot of track athletes are going to laugh when they hear this part because 1 second in track,
it's a lot. It's a lot, especially in the shorter sprints.
Yeah, definitely.
I was trying to gas you up a bit,
No, I love it. I appreciate it. But yeah, I think this team is more capable than any other CSI team they've ever had for breaking records, especially in the relay category, because we have a very high number of talented athletes this year that can come together and beat those records. Me personally, I was looking at like the 60-meter stuff indoor that I've never gotten to do, but I'm really looking forward to seeing how fast I can run.
Something that we always talk about with the student athletes that we have on the show, the balance between academics and athletics. In 2022-2023, you were a CCAA All-Academic honoree. How do you manage the balance between athletics and academics? It's something that in Division II is always placed in an area of very high importance.
Growing up, my mom was a teacher, so for me it's always been school first. Not necessarily like the quality of work, but just making sure you put in that effort, you put in that time, because at the end of the day, it's student before athlete. I know people say it all the time, but you really need to think of it that way. And I think once you do that, it's really not that hard.
With the season getting underway this weekend, obviously we don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but looking ahead to when this season ends, what are some of the goals that you hope to achieve individually, and what is the team looking to accomplish this year?
I think personally, I don't want to set any crazy goals for myself. In general, I want to run sub 11 in the 100 and hopefully sub 7 in the 60. But as a team, I think we're just looking to make a bigger name for ourselves at conference, in general, for the program as a whole, so that we can keep recruiting athletes and, just get some more respect than we currently have.
And one of your teammates, Wayne Stevenson, has been clamoring to get on the show. He's been asking me when his interview is coming up. Hopefully, he got to speak to Nick. And if he did, you'll get to see that later in this episode of the show. I still have to unpack those interviews that Nick sent me. But he's leaving behind quite the legacy. A pair of records. He's now on the building outside on the big banner here in 1R. What legacy do you hope to leave behind when you've left the College of Staten Island and your time here is said and done?
Well, funny story about Wayne real quick. When I was on my visit, I actually had to stay with Wayne, and I slept on his couch, and gave me the worst headache ever. But he's a great guy. I had a really good time meeting him and bonding with him. I think me, for a legacy, I don't know how attainable that is, especially considering I'm a junior. I probably only have 2 or 3 years.
Wayne came here as a junior as well.
Oh, okay. So I guess anything's possible.
Sure is.
I think it'll be more dependent on my involvement in all the other facilities at the school rather than just my running, because I don't know if that can carry me alone. I'm not like a Usain Bolt kind of guy.
I was never an athlete. I'm being carried by my voice right now. So hopefully when I'm remembered, it'll be for what I did on Sportsnet and not for the lack of athletics.
Hopefully I can be remembered for that too,
Sounds good, and sounds promising. Before we wrap up, we always give our guest a chance to look into the camera and address the Sportsnet audience watching at home. Sam, I've showed you where the camera is already. Take it away. The floor is yours.
All right. First, I got to shout out my family, mom and dad, my brother, my dog. I haven't seen you guys in ages, it feels like. I'm really excited to go back home for Christmas break. Shout out to all my friends back in California that I abandoned and they keep joking I'm never going to see them again. Shout out to my band, of course, Ad Contra. You can find it on my Instagram. Shout out to Coach Akil for getting me on this podcast. It's been fun. Shout out to Joe for giving me a job at game day. And, shout out CSI. Hopefully I can keep, building myself up, building up the program.
And Sam, hopefully we get to hear from you again come baseball season. You've expressed some interest in perhaps lending your voice to some commentary. Nick and I would love to have you on. What we could do, you've already got some experience on stats. We put you behind the stats computer, throw a headset on you. You could be the third headset. Should be a lot of fun come baseball and softball season. Still plenty to come before that time, however. Track and field gets underway at the Yuri Spence Garcia Invitational on Saturday. Be sure to check out csidolphins.com for links to live stats and any potential video streaming from the meet this weekend. My name is Joe Foreman, and once again, thank you to my guest, Sam Whelan. Always tough to find guests who are enthusiastic about coming on. Sam, you've been great. Be sure to check out all of our conversations with CSI Track and Field with our colleague Nick Durst. Those will be coming up following this interview as a special addition to this episode of the show.
Nick Durst here for CSI TV with Ava Thompson. And Ava, how does it feel to have your face on the big poster outside of one eye?
I'm not going to lie, it feels pretty good. I didn't know that I was going to be on the poster. I didn't even know that there was going to be a new poster. So when I got sent a picture of it, I was really excited. My mom often drives by and shows people she's with.
It's going to be there for probably at least 10 years now. So you have a lasting legacy. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So you're getting ready now for the indoor season.
Mm-hmm.
So talk to us about that. What goes into your prep work for the season, and what are your expectations for it?
Sure. So because I'm a thrower for track and field, I don't train like how the runners do. So we do a lot of strength. We try to get in shape, get strong. We focus on our technique because the throws is a really technical event. We've just been doing all we can to be successful come indoor.
Okay. So we asked the other teammates, who would you say is kind of the class clown of the team, kind of keeps things loose?
I'm not sure. That's a good question. Maybe Wayne.
Okay,
Yeah.
Wayne.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right, so when you're heading to a meet, what kind of music are you listening to? What gets you in the zone?
So I'm a big country fan. I like Luke Combs, Morgan Wallen, Zach Bryan. So I'm always listening to country. Even on my keys, I got a little cowboy boot.
All right, so talk to me about a meet day. What is your time leading up to the meet? Are you eating anything? Are you going to eat anything after the meet?
Mm-hmm.
Talk to us about getting your body ready for that meet by fueling up, hydrating, etc.
Sure. Okay, so the morning of the meet, maybe I'll have a bagel. And I usually will eat that like many hours prior to competing. In terms of snacks to keep me fueled for the day, I'll probably have like a granola bar and a Gatorade or, water.
All right. Well, the season's coming up, but they call it a student athlete for a reason. You're a very serious student. You're in Macaulay. Recently had a great experience that you shared on the CSI Today podcast. Why don't you tell our audience a little bit about that?
Sure. So I worked at New York Stem Cell Foundation as a research and development engineering intern. I basically created a device that fostered the optimal environment for turning skin and blood cells into stem cells. So that was a really rewarding experience, and I'm really grateful for that opportunity.
All right. Well, congratulations on that. Congratulations on a great career so far, and best of luck in the upcoming seasons.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Wayne, it's a big season coming up for you, but before we even talk about the season, I want to know, how do you feel to have your face plastered on the side of one eye on that big banner?
To be honest, it's a great honor, to be honest, because I know how much the school goes towards their athletics, and just to see it just shows how much I represented the school, and it shows that if you just do what you can to represent well the Dolphins, Staten Island, and just yourself, results like that would show over there.
So I don't want to get you in trouble. Obviously, this is your senior year.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of chatter around the building that you're coming for that athlete of the year, the senior season. You and Messiah Mallory got to battle it out.
Yeah.
You like your chances this season?
I never really thought about it. I heard a few whispers from my teammates and stuff like that saying,
they're pulling for you, right? They want you to get that.
Yeah, but just gotta keep doing what I gotta do my work, keep representing the school well, and when the time comes, then we'll see what the result shows. But hey, just gotta keep doing what I gotta do.
All right, Wayne, thank you for your time. And last thing here, what are your expectations for the indoor season?
I never usually say my expectations out loud, but just for today,
you got some high goals, some good goals. That's what
I do have some high
positive
goals,
expectations.
So, some positive expectations. To continue to represent the school well, represent myself well. It's the last year in the NCAA, so I need to just go out there, do my best, and see where it ends up. All
right, Wayne, thank you for your time. Best luck this season.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Here with AAA and Elizabeth. So AAA, tell us your names and what grade you're in.
I'm Alexandra Tavares, and I'm a freshman.
I'm Adonijah Washington, and I'm a freshman.
I'm Alexis Doyle, and I'm a freshman.
I'm Elizabeth Nicotra, and I'm a sophomore.
All right, so this is the crew here. Now I heard you're the funny one. What's up with that?
I don't know. It's my personality.
All right. All right, so we're here. It's pouring rain. We're outside, but we're getting ready for indoor season. So how much are you looking forward to indoor season? What's the expectations for the team?
I mean, in weather like this, I'm definitely looking forward to it, to be inside. But I expect us to all win. We're such a big team now. We have distance, field events, sprinters. So I feel like we're going to do really well all around.
Okay, so we get ready for an event, right? Talk me through your routine. What are you eating in the morning? What are you eating before the event? What are you eating afterwards?
Okay, so I have butter on toast with honey, fire combo, and then maybe some pretzels before your race to carb up, quick energy, and yeah.
All right, Liz. So talk to me about the team taking the bus. What kind of music is being played on the bus?
I don't know. It depends. If we're tired in the morning, maybe we'll have very low volume, on under 10.
Okay.
But if it's usually hyper music, afterwards, we're hyper, ready, we're done with the meet, and we're all happy with how we did, and we did our best.
All right.
Yep.
Well, thank you, girls, for the time. I wanted to go see Liz run here with the umbrella because that'd be pretty cool. But thank you for your time. Best luck this season.
Thank you.
Senior field star Tasia, and Tasia, can you believe it? Senior year already?
I'm excited. I'm happy.
Should be a good one. Indoor season coming up right now.
Yes.
So obviously, a lot of your teammates on the running side, they did cross country. You didn't really have anything to do as far as competing is concerned. So how did you train and get yourself ready for the indoor season?
Actually, throughout the summer, I did the 75 hard challenge just to equip myself to just get started with the indoor season, and I think that actually got me ready for it now. And then we have an amazing coach, Coach Renee, and she's training us each and every day.
All right, so indoor season coming up right now. What are your expectations for it?
Honestly, I give it all to God. I just want to see where it takes me. Honestly, I don't put a number on it. Whatever happens, it happens, and I just give it my best.
What do you prefer, indoor season or outdoor season?
Outdoor season. most definitely. Indoor is it's different. I didn't grow up playing track. I actually did boxing.
Oh,
So this is very different, but outdoor is very fun to me, something different.
okay. So on your team, who would you say is kind of the class clown, someone who keeps the team loose and energized?
Me.
You do? Okay.
Yeah.
I like that answer. Somebody's being honest for once.
It's definitely me.
All right, so go head into a meet. What kind of music are you listening to get yourself in the zone?
I actually listen to worship music.
Love it.
Myself.
Excellent. And talk to us about a meet day as far as what are you eating before the meet, after the meet? What are you drinking to stay hydrated? How do you keep yourself fueled?
I'm probably not the best example. I do drink a lot of water. I'll probably like snack on something. I don't like to get too heavy or like eat a whole meal before a meet. And then like usually after they'll bring us something and I'll just eat them. But usually before I'll just drink a lot of water and like snack on a granola bar or something.
Very well. All right, well, thank you for your time and best of luck in the indoor season.
Thank you.
And another season coming right now, indoor season coming up. What are your personal goals for this season?
So definitely want to set a lot of PRs, especially in the mid distance. We're going to focus on the 800 and the mile this year for indoor, and then for outdoor, I'm super excited to throw javelin again. We're going to work to possibly medaling at ECCs and breaking another school record. So excited for that.
All right, so it seems like the team expectations are high as well.
Yeah.
So you're fully expecting just domination in this indoor season, right?
Yes. We have a lot more people. A lot of people are showing dedication, hard work. We have the numbers this year, and we're definitely a very talented group. So I'm really excited to see what we can do.
Walk me through your pre-meet routine. What are you eating, and what are you eating post-meet as well?
Okay, so pre-meet, lots of carbs, so pasta, rice, protein, and then after meets, I like to treat myself. I love coffee, so definitely that's a way for me to treat myself. But also fueling myself, so lots of fruits, vegetables, proteins, keep my body healthy.
All right, well, pre-meet, what kind of music you listen to get yourself in the zone?
Ooh, okay, I'm a huge J. Cole fan, so lots of J. Cole for me to get me hyped.
All right, so and you do all the seasons here.
Yes.
Cross country, indoor, outdoor.
Yes.
So August through May, you're going at it. How do you keep your body and mind right? And also, what's your favorite season to compete in?
So ways for me to keep my body and mind right is I do lots of journaling and self-care. So aside from like running, and because running is a way for me to unwind, but aside from like hard training, going for walks on the park, that's a way for me to unwind. And honestly, outdoor is my favorite because you have all the momentum building up from cross country, indoor. So it's like the culmination of all your training. So I feel like I'm at my best physically. I'm at my peak. So I feel like I'm able to perform best outdoor.
So for the novices out there that you really don't know the difference between indoor and outdoor, would you say the indoor season, your times are a little better because there's no elements, or does that really not factor in?
I think that outdoor your times are faster because you have all the training built up from cross country if you run cross country and indoor, and you have all of that building up to outdoor. So I feel like your times definitely drop outside.
Well, thank you for your time and best of luck in this upcoming season.
Thank you.
Here with Anialua. And this season, it's coming up real quick, right? The indoor season. You've been out here since August, training, practicing. What are you expecting here for the indoor season?
A lot of new faces coming on, a lot of good talent. So I expect a lot of awards, a lot of records broken.
All right.
Personally, myself, so we'll see.
All right, well, let's take a look over here at your teammates. They're laughing at you, so we'll show them on the camera. Who would you say is the biggest, class clown on the team that makes everybody laugh?
I don't know, probably Allie.
Allie, Allie on a wave? All right, Allie's got the jokes, all right. All right, so this season's coming up really quick, and for you, like I said, you've been training all season. So which of the seasons here in the track and field sphere is your favorite?
Outdoor.
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 All right, well, outdoor will be here before you know it, but right now, you could definitely use the indoor because it's cold and rainy out here.
Absolutely.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Coach, another season coming up here. Indoor season. We're outdoors right now. Rain, sleet, snow, doesn't matter. Gonna get it in, go to practice. So what can we expect here from the team for the indoor season?
I'm really excited for indoors this year. Our groups are very well meshed and excited and want to get out there. We've been training since August, so they have that itch and the urge to get out on the track and start training and start getting at meets on December 7th. Our distance group ran really well during cross country. Indoors, the throwers are very excited. We have a new group, our hurlers and jumpers. The sprinters are they're like a well-oiled machine, and they're excited as well. So, it's something really look forward to. I think the Staten Island community has really come together and really picked this up as a group, and really excited for indoors.
And what a difference a year makes. Last year to this year, we have over 30 new student athletes on the team.
Yeah, so last year we had, when I started in August 2023, we had 9.
Wow.
So we grew in August to September, we grew to 34. And this year we have 41. So we look to keep growing. This recruiting class is very exciting as well. So we have 41 student athletes in total. Yep.
And just talk to us about the durability of your team, because unlike a lot of the athletes here who their season is a few months, your athletes are pretty much going August through May.
Yeah. It's a lot of durability. It's a lot of mental toughness and physical toughness that you have to withstand. We're not like the regular sport like football or basketball or any other sports. So we have to be extra durable. And doing the plyouts and doing the weight training is really beneficial for us, especially on the more explosive groups like the throwers and the sprinters and the jumpers. So those things are very it works in our favor, and it's important that we get out there and we're more excited and more looking forward towards the season with extra durability and all that fun stuff that involves with that. Yeah.
All right, well, Coach, thank you for your time and best luck in this indoor season.
Thank you.
This has been Season 4, Episode 8 of the Dolphin Pod. Thanks for watching, everybody. And if you're watching our live premiere, be sure to tune in to CSI Basketball coming up next.